Hello guys, this is my deck profile for Arkhite. This deck focuses on searching the pieces you need and hitting with big numbers. So I will start with the ride line. I use the standard ride line. The grade 1 and 2 Arkhite has the same skill. On place, search your deck for a research card and add it to your hand. It's same with Eva. And when you search or research, you will always add this. So Arkhite skill is when your rear guard with monster and its card name is placed, you can put a card with the same card name from your old order zone with it and put it on the bottom of your deck, and the unit gets +10. So that's how you get their power. And then Arkhite's first skill is when it Arkhite's second skill, when it attacks, CB1, and you can perform 2 of the skills below. For the first skill, you need to have at least 3 research order cards in the order zone. You can put a rear guard with monster in its card name from your rear guard to the order zone. And then the second skill, look at top 7 cards of your deck and call one monster from among them. So you call, put in the bottom. So you get 4 attacks every turn. So for the research card, the skill is when placed to the order zone, reveal top 5, add 1 monster from among them to hand and put 1 to the drop. So you can search any monster card, even Arkhite, since she has a monster in her card name, and you can even take a PG, which I'll get into later. And then the second skill, when you rest it in the order zone, you can add a monster card from your drop to the order zone. So that's how you put monsters there. So I'll start with the grade 3. And you have this one grade 3, excluding Arkhite. On place, CB1, you can retire one of your opponent's rear guards with grade less than or equal to the number of research cards in your order zone. And on attack, if you have at least 3 research cards in the order zone, it gets +5. So it's 18k, 28k with Arkhite skill, 38 with Persona Ride. For grade 2s, I run Cyclogade. So its first skill, on place, choose a card with monster in its card name from drop and add it to the order zone. So it's not as important, but the second skill is if your order zone has 2 or more research cards, it gets +5k shield. So it's a 10k shield. Next grade 2 is Tech 10. So Tekken skill, when discarded from hand, look at top 5 cards of your deck and add a set order from among them to your hand. You don't really have other cards that discard, so we will discard this for your ride deck. When you ride. So discard it, check and activate Tech 10 skill first, check top 5, and then you can search out the order with your grade 1 or 2. Next, on to the grade 1s. Wave Veloz, on place, Soul Blast 2, draw 1. You will use his skill anytime you can, since it's the only one who uses your soul. And during your turn, if your order zone has 3 or more research cards, you can it gets +5k, so it's 13k on its own. Next is Adapton. So I saw this card from a Japanese player. A Japanese player made an article about Arkhite, and the skill of Adapton is when it boosts, it gets +2. So it's a 10k booster, and it makes really nice numbers. So the goal of this deck is to hit your opponent hard, you rush them, and you win on turn 3, 4, or you try to win as fast as possible. So you don't want to let your opponent build up their resources. So Adapton's really good since it can hit very nice numbers. For example, if you're going second on your grade 2 turn, mostly you want to have a full field, and when your opponent's grade 2 already, if this is a normal grade 1, this only hits for 18, so it won't hit over defensive triggers. But since Adapton is boosting, it will hit for 20. Also good when you're grade 3. When you go first, your opponent's still grade 2, you call this Arkhite skill. So this will hit for 30. It also mixes with the grade 3s, since 13k when your opponent's grade 3 already. This will hit for 48 with Personal Ride and Arkhite skill. And if you don't have magic number, for example like this, so in your opponent's grade 3, this will be 20k, so it's not magic number. But what you can do is, if you Persona Ride or use Arkhite skill, this will be 20 or 30 attack, and then Arkhite skill, you call this, so it's 13. There are also some cards you can use. I'll get onto that after the PGs. So for the PGs, I run the trial deck PGs and 1 Elementaria. The Elementaria is important right now since it's Chronojet meta, and it's also helpful, and it's also good against card restricts. The trial deck PG has been errated to monsters, so you can search it out with the research card. So when you check the 5, there's a PG, you can add it to hand. So the only problem is it's just the trial deck PG, so you don't have the special effect. Onto triggers. Wait. So some cards you can use is Bobble Mine and Abend Robust. Bobble Mine skill is at the end of the battle it boosted, put it into soul and counter charge. So I don't use this because you lose a rear guard on the board, and sometimes you run out of rear guards. And next is Abend Robust. It's not a monster, but on play CB1 you can search out your research, and on attack it gets +10. So it's like a monster, but you can't search it out, and it's a grade 3, so no shield. But if you will play Bobble Mine or Abend Robust, I think it's good to play them together, since this is a CB. You will use more CB. You can use Bobble Mine to counter charge, and Abend Robust stays on board, so it kind of helps for Bobble Mine, or like it kind of replace. Yeah, it just stays on board, so it's good. So I think it's preference. I might try this again. But and for the triggers, I just use the normal lineup. Elder Breath, 3 draws, 4 heals, and 8 crits. So that's it for my video. Thank you for watching.